I'd like to read a section from Tim Haig's commentary on Hebrews. Is that
Go for it.
available now? Is that out?
It's not out. You're getting your, well, I mean, people were able to download it
Yeah,
as
yeah.
it
Because
came
I
out.
think a lot of our listeners have followed along through the years, studying getting all the study notes and everything. But basically, Tim Haig writes, it's really well put. For everyone, that's huper pantos, literally on behalf of each one. Pantos, the adjective pantos can be read as either masculine or neuter singular, yielding the sense of either everyone or everything. While the neuter could offer the idea that Yeshua's salvific work accrues to the restoration of all things, the new heavens and earth, the context seems clearly to favor the masculine, thus referring to people. Further, while the singular is often near, what he means there is that why does it have to be people? Because the word people is not literally there.
So
Literally, it
they
says he
add
might
it.
taste death for all. In other words, for the word all. Well, is it all things? Taste death. That's what Tim Haig's point is. It's like literally, we could read it that it's not even talking about people. It's just for the restoration of all things. And he says, but it makes more sense to read it as a masculine. That's as a neuter, because as a neuter noun, it could have that general. But as a masculine, referring to people. Further, while the singular is often nearly equivalent with the plural of this adjective, the singular may emphasize the individual members of the class denoted here. And he's getting into the weeds of Greek grammar. In the wider context, the quote, class denoted are those who are eternally saved. For the following verses, each grammatically connected to our verse with the particle gar. So that's in Greek, that is a little word at the beginning of each sentence, or the
For.
second word in each sentence, that connects these together, makes this clear. The suffering of death which Yeshua underwent was for the purpose of, as Dr. James White we heard, bringing many sons to glory, verse 10, sons who are further identified as brethren and who are, quote, sanctified in verse 11. Thus, for our author, those for whom Yeshua, quote, tasted death are those who are eternally saved. This same idea is reiterated in 13:12, where it says that Yeshua, that he might sanctify the people through his own blood, suffered outside the gate. So the word the people there is a limited class. It's not all people. Now in 13:12, it doesn't have the word all. It just says the people. But it's not all the people in the world. It's a fixed number. It's an elect number. That between Tim Haig's comment, just that we read here, I think what not Dr. Brown, Dr. James White. There are all these colors, Dr. White, Dr. Brown. We need like a Dr. Green in here. I think Dr. White's comments are well. I like his little parodies that he puts in there.
This is a very good. This is yeah. So this is. I'm watching the interchange in the chat room real quick, and Robert says he's made some points of what he believes in terms. Well, I'll read his previous comment. He says, "So I believe that Christ's death was limited in that it was for the church, that is, or the believers, but that anyone could become a believer." Then he says, "So according to Calvinism, is all Israel saved?" And Andre says, "Yes." Which is exactly right. We have to define what Israel is, because I don't believe Israel.
We have to define not all Israel is of Israel. We need to
exactly,
define and what Paul says in Romans 9.
Yeah, exactly.
Dr. Green would be the Hulk. Okay, he's a doctor. That's right. The Hulk is like the guy who turns into Hulk is like a doctor, isn't he?
So I just want to touch on this real quick. So a bloodline of those who are Jewish, and I'm not using this like the Two Housers. Okay, I see Jewish as bloodline descended from Jacob. Not all of Israel is bloodline connected to Jacob, but there are many who are part of Israel who are connected to Jacob, but there are many who aren't. Right, every nation. So Israel, that is God's chosen. Israel is God's elect. That's how I see it. A very good conversation going on in the chat room.
Oh, here, Eve Eve just said, well, what about Joshua 24? And they're given it says choose. Well, if you look at, I guess we could go there. Have we done Joshua 24 before?
No, we're all over the place today. Let's
the choice in Joshua 24 is between idols. Let's go look at it, because I think it. Some people might have this scripture.
I think that her point is that it's choice, though.
Yeah, but it's
still,
choose between which idol.
Yeah, God's not one of the options.
In other words, he's not on the list of the choice.
Because, and this good point,
seriously.
Oh man, that's funny, because according to total depravity, we aren't able to choose God. We're only able to choose evil, right? We would never choose God.